Your personal data is probably on the dark web. Here's what you can do to fend off identity thieves. Criminals can use your sensitive data, found on the dark web, to create personalized phishing attacks and even steal your identity. But how would you even know if your social security number or other valuable information is living there? You are probably not going to hop on the dark web and check for yourself. The dark web, sometimes called the darknet, is the part of the internet that you can't find through conventional search engines. To get there, you need what's called an anonymizing browser and a specialized search engine. It is very scary down there. Signing up for an identity theft protection service is one of the best ways to find out if your sensitive data is on the dark web. But it's not foolproof. Troves of information is added to the dark web after data breaches, so it can be difficult for services to keep up. The truth is, you can never really be sure whether your private data is in the hands of cybercriminals. But there are some giveaways that your personal information may be available to identity thieves. Is my personal information on the dark web? So how can you tell if your personal data is on the dark web? There are several signs you'll want to look for. Random emails, texts and phone calls. Everyone gets these, and they're not automatically a sign that your information is on the dark web. Still, it's a possibility. If you are getting a lot of unwanted junk emails, calls and texts, it's probably because someone purchased a list to run some sort of financial scam and your information was on it. Unfamiliar purchases on your credit card. Your spidey senses should start tingling if this happens to you. Even if they are small, it could be because someone has purchased your credit card number from a list of hundreds of credit card accounts which are sold for as low as just 5 cents a piece on the dark web. Your bank will normally send you a new card after suspicious purchases are identified or reported. You are locked out of your bank account. It's one thing if you forgot your password and guessed too many times for your bank's comfort. But if that isn't the case, and you find yourself locked out, it's possible that someone else has tried to log into your account too many times. Odd health insurance claims. If you are getting medical bills for procedures you never underwent, get you on the phone with the healthcare provider or your insurer immediately. If medical claims that should have been accepted are rejected due to benefits being used, that too might be an ominous sign. Medical identity theft is a real problem, though it is rare. Unauthorized login or password changes. If you just changed your bank password, you'll get an alert. But if you get an alert that your bank password has been changed, and you know you didn't do it, that's a major red flag. The same goes for any emails you receive about unrecognized login activity with your account. How this can lead to identity theft. If your personal data, like your name, phone number or email address, is on the dark web, you'll be more vulnerable to identity theft and online scams. If a cybercriminal has some of your personal information, they're going to be able to craft a believable con more easily than if they are approaching a complete stranger. Most commonly, identity thieves will find passwords and log-in credentials on the dark web. There are many dark websites with lists of usernames, emails and matching passwords for various sites. Cybercriminals use these for credential stuffing, where they try your password from one site on a bunch of other sites. At the same time, you probably don't want to be too fearful when you think about the dark web. Not all of your information found on the dark web is too useful to bad actors. We typically worry that extremely sensitive information has been disclosed and that cybercriminals are intent on using your particular information to destroy your life. This is an exaggeration. The dark web has tanker loads of data. What can you do if your personal data is on the dark web? If you discover that your personal data is on the dark web, there's not much you can do. It's out there and may have already been sold numerous times. Still, there are preventative measures you can take to minimize the consequences. Freeze your credit. You can freeze your credit so nobody can open loans, credit cards, and other credit-based accounts in your name. But it also prevents you from opening a new account unless you temporarily or permanently unfreeze your credit. Credit freezes always sound good in theory, but they can be a time-consuming hassle to manage. But if your information is on the dark web and freezing your credit offers you peace of mind, you can do so online at each of the credit bureau's websites. A credit freeze is also not a complete solution for identity theft. For instance, if you put a freeze on your credit, they won't be able to take out a new loan, but if they already have your current credit card number, they could still go on an unauthorized shopping spree. And since banks don't always run a credit check when you open a new bank account, someone could still open a checking or savings account in your name. Change your passwords regularly. The best passwords are complicated. Any password easy for you to remember is easy for a cybercriminal to guess. With such hard passwords, nobody can memorize and reliably use more than a handful. But no realistic person expects you to. Basically, everyone needs a password manager. He also warns against answering your password recovery questions correctly. Hackers likely know your former street, teacher, and pet names, so you'll want to answer these questions differently to prevent anyone other than you from logging in. Review your bank statements. It may seem like a routine solution, but going through your bank statements every month can help you keep an eye on potential red flags. Regular monitoring of your financial statements and credit reports can help you spot any unauthorized activity early. Look for any charges you don't recognize or even deposits that haven't come from sources you know. How to report identity theft or a fraud case. If a data breach does lead to fraud or identity theft, contact the credit card company, bank or lender as well as the 3 major credit bureaus. If you signed up for identity theft protection with white glove service restoration, the company should also assist you with these steps and help you fight any wrongful charges. If identity theft is suspected, it's important to report it to the relevant authorities to not only protect yourself but also help prevent further occurrences.